Yes, it's Jumble. And here's your host, Jeff Stevenson.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Good morning. Welcome to Jumble, the show that cheers you up after the postman's brought you another batch of horrible bills. Hey, talking of postman, I've just got a new one. The last one was hopeless. I was always getting other people's letters and none of my own. Apparently last week the post office sacked him. So now he's claimed unfair dismissal. And he's delivered a petition to the Prime Minister at 47 Corporation Street, Bootle, Liverpool. Not bad for this time in the morning. Listen, never mind him. Let's address ourselves to Jumble, the game you can play at home. It's all about anagrams and cryptic clues. And if you can solve them, you can pat yourselves on the back. If our contestants can solve them, they can win up to £500. Playing Jumble, we have, as usual, two teams made up of one member of the public and one well-known face. And first, a guy whose voice is perhaps even better known. It's that smooth, cultured Canadian, David Jensen. Nice to see you, David.
Thank you.
Very busy with the spoken word, doing very well with the network chart show.
Yeah, it keeps going from strength to strength.
When do you actually get the charts?
We get the chart usually on Friday, and we start work on it over the weekend, get research and double-check if certain records arrive in the chart rather higher maybe than they should because they've only been released a few days, you know, but maybe some record companies have been trying to hype them in, you know, but you don't really get incidents of that kind of thing happening very much these days.
Have you ever discovered any new bands, you know, people sending you in tapes?
Yeah, in the past I've been lucky, really. There's a lot of people that have sent me tapes in that I've said, yeah, I'd like to play that, and I've got sessions with them, and they've gone on to get record company contracts, and that's good. People like Culture Club, for example, and the Police. And
really? You listened to them before they made it?
That's right, yeah.
Great stuff. How much time do you actually spend at home during the week sort of listening to music?
Well, I listen to music all the time, especially in the car. That's where I listen to, you know, I'm a real radioholic, you know, I listen to, you know, the spoken word and classical and jazz, all kinds of things.
Yeah, I love driving around the country and going into sort of really sort of way out local stations. Especially I was in Australia, I remember sort of going over, you listen to a guy broadcasting from his back room, you know.
Sure, yeah, that's right. There's a magic there, you know.
Yes, there is. Okay, introduce us to your partner.
Right, my partner today, I'm lucky to have someone all the way from Sudbury in Suffolk by the name of Linz.
Nice to see you, Linz. Welcome to Jumble. And what do you do for a living?
At the moment I work in a plastics factory, but I used to pack Trivial Pursuit games.
You used to pack Trivial Pursuit games? 3,000
an hour, every hour.
So I bet you'd be good at... So, I mean, did you sort of look at the questions before they went in?
Yeah, but they're usually French.
They're usually French? Oh, I see. You've got to tell us about the time that you went to a party and a very embarrassing thing happened. Tell us.
Yeah, we arrived late for this party, as per usual. And rather than thinking we arrived late, the people there on the door who didn't know us very well thought I was early and I was a strippogram.
Right. Well, we welcome you today and we hope you do well with the anagram. No strippogram involved today. So we've met our first team. Let's say hello to our next celebrity, who is a good all-rounder, because she's presented television news, current affairs and worked with Jeremy Beadle. I'm sure she'll be game for a laugh on Jumble. It's Debbie Ricks. Bit of a jibe there, we were saying about Jeremy Beadle. We actually did work with Jeremy Beadle. For 2 years, you co-presented Game for a Laugh.
Yeah.
A lot of fun?
It was, although they were always sort of trying to take the mick out of me. I used to have to dress up as ridiculous things. I had to dress up as a bee once, which I didn't take very kindly to. Yeah. It's not very dignified being a bee. And I dressed up as a penguin.
Oh, really?
And they did try and blow me up on stage once on the set. That was quite exciting. And I really didn't know that was going to happen. And I was prattling away to camera doing my link, you know, thinking I was looking frightfully glamorous. And suddenly this great explosion took place underneath my chair.
Yeah. Was it live or did you just record them?
It was recorded as live. Anyone who knows anything about television, that means that you record the show within a very strict amount of time. So you really don't have time for retakes.
No, just like we do here.
Just like here.
Yeah, yeah. So, what sort of show would you like to work on in the future?
I like working in studios. I think there's a terrific atmosphere in a studio, and I like information programmes. So a sort of combination of those two things would be nice.
Great. Have you ever been involved in radio, like David?
I worked in radio for years, yes, as a researcher when I was much younger.
OK. Introduce us to your partner.
Yes, this is Tony, and he's from Royston.
All right. Nice to meet you, Tony.
Hi, Jeff.
You were once a pop photographer.
Yes, back in the early 60s, early mid-60s, Jeff.
What sort of pop stars did you
Cliff, Shadows, Rolling Stones,
yeah.
Crickets, Beach Boys.
Oh, that's great. And some of your pictures that you've taken over the years have appeared in the Highway Code.
Yes, back in 1968 I took those, Jeff, and they're still in the current edition.
They're still there, so if you actually go out today and buy the Highway Code, we'll
You see the
your
pictures I took, they're still in there.
OK, that's great. We welcome you to Jumble. We've met our teams. Let's get on with the game. Let's take a look at our first cryptic clue cartoon. Let's play Jumble. This Jumble cartoon is worth £25. Let's take a look at it. There's the cartoon, and here is the clue that we need the solution to. Listen out. It's grown in the older parts of Yorkshire for horses. It's grown in the older parts of Yorkshire for horses. Now, we tossed a coin before the start of the show, and it's David and Lynn's to go first. Who's the yeller? Who's the speller?
I'll do the spelling, I think.
Yeah, you can do the yelling.
OK, up you pop. You have 15 seconds to unscramble one of these Jumble. Each Jumble relates to our cartoon. Loads of yelling for new Lynn's and no spelling. And David, you can only spell, you cannot yell. You've got 15 seconds on the clock. First Jumble coming up. Go.
Shire.
Yes, well done. Spell it out, David. OK, we take the I and the R. They've now fallen onto red squares. They're now key letters. And we place the I right there. R goes in the word on the right. It's grown in the older parts of Yorkshire for horses. Lynn's, any idea?
No.
No? OK, over we go. Second Jumble, 15 seconds on the clock. Go.
Grain.
Yes, correct. Well done. What we do now, we take the G and the I, because they're now key letters, and we place the G-I into the word on the left. Now, Lynn's. It's grown in the older parts of Yorkshire for horses. Any ideas?
Pudding. No.
No, it's not pudding. Pudding on my top hat. So over we go. Third Jumble. Go.
Oh. Thorn.
No. Think aloud.
No. North.
No.
Return.
No. I'm sorry, you've lost control. Back you go. Debbie and Tony, you've gained control. Up you pop. So you could have an early lead here. In you go. 15 seconds, go.
Hunter.
Yes, you got it. Well done. You've gained control successfully. Well done. So we take the N and the R. We go over here. We place the NR on the left. Now, Tony, it's grown in the older parts of Yorkshire for horses. What do you think?
Riding crop.
It is riding crop. Well done. OK, go back to your places. Yeah, that was a bonus point there. Well done. I'll tell you what, it's a bit of a funny coincidence, that. A clue about Yorkshire and horses, because I was in this pub the other week in the Yorkshire Moors, and I'm sitting there having a drink. In walks this beautiful white horse. I couldn't believe it. He sat next to me at the bar and ordered a drink. The barman said, well, I can't believe this. He said, you never guess what, my old son? We have got a brand of whiskey here named after you. He said, what? Eric. I wonder if Eric would have guessed riding crop. Did you? So, at this point, at the end of Cartoon 1, we have David and Lynn's with £20, but Debbie and Tony scoring bonus points there because they stepped in, took control, got the cartoon, got £25, £10 over there, makes the score of £35. Well done. Well done. So, our second cartoon is worth £25. Let's take a look at it. It's over there. And here's the clue that we want you to solve. Peter enters the window, flicking his cigarette with great style. Peter enters the window, flicking his cigarette with great style. Debbie, Tony, who is yelling, who is spelling?
I think I'm spelling.
And I'm yelling.
Up you pop. OK, don't forget, you can only spell, you cannot yell, Debbie. And Tony, you can only yell, you cannot spell. 15 seconds, good luck, first Jumble, go. Think aloud, Tony.
Croaked,
No. Give us some words. No, I'm sorry, you've lost control. Back you go. David and Lynn's, you gain control. Up you pop. 15 seconds to go in, and you may pull back a few pounds here, starting now.
Actor.
You got it, well done. You're back on track. We take the C, our key letter. In goes the C. Lynn's. Peter enters the window, flicking his cigarette with great style. What do you think?
No.
OK, don't forget you need the anagrams over here. You need to build up the cash to get back on track. OK, 15 seconds on the clock, second jumble, go.
Flare.
Yeah, well done. Don't worry about it. That is an I. Look, that's an I there. We take the A and we leave the I there. We place the A right in there. Lins. Peter enters the window, flicking his cigarette with great style. What do you think?
No, still don't know.
OK, over we go. Third jumble coming up, 15 seconds on the clock, go.
Dashing.
Yes, it is. Well done. Correct. Key letters, the A, the H, and the N. We transfer them to the cartoon board. The H goes there, the A goes there. Lins. Peter enters the window, flicking his cigarette with great style. What do you think?
Panache.
Panache it is. Well done. Go back to your places. So, Peter enters the window, flicking his cigarette with great style. Panache. Pan. That's Peter Pan, who flew through the window. He flicked ash, so panache, meaning great style. I suppose that may have been one of the easier clues that we have on Jumble. But just because some are easier than others, that doesn't mean that the team who are first to have a go at guessing are at an advantage. And some of you have written in a bit puzzled about this. So let me explain. As you've often heard me say, the more anagrams you get right, the more the money builds up. And the team with the most money in the bank at the end of 2 rounds goes on to play for the jackpot prize in part 2. So, even if the guessers know the answers to the cryptic clue, they bluff. They pretend they don't know and have a go at the next anagram, and then perhaps the next, and so on. But that can be risky. They might get a tough anagram they can't solve in 15 seconds, and if they can't, they lose control, and the opposing team takes over. So, at this point in the game, we have Debbie and Tony with £35. David and Lynn, you pulled a few pounds back there. You now have £75. Well done. Moving on to round 2. This time our cartoons were £50. Let's take a look at it. There's the cartoon, and here's the clue we want you to solve. Continue the stroll with a simple little tune, and you'll feel elated. Continue the stroll with a simple little tune, and you'll feel elated. David Lins, who is yelling, who is spelling?
I'm yelling.
OK, I'll spell.
Up your pop. First jumble coming up, 15 seconds on the clock, go.
Hiker.
You got it, well done. Spell it out, David. OK. We take the I and the K. Key letters. K goes there, I goes there. Now, Lins, continue the stroll with a simple little tune, and you'll feel elated. What do you think?
Don't know.
Are you bluffing?
No.
You're not bluffing, OK. Second jumble, 15 seconds, go.
Ballad.
Yeah, well done. Take the A and the L. The A goes there, the L goes there. Continue the stroll with a simple little tune, and you'll feel elated. What do you think?
No.
No?
Still don't know.
OK, right, third jumble, 15 seconds on the clock, go.
Oxygen.
Well done. We'll take the O and the N. The O-N goes right there. Lins, continue the stroll with a simple little tune, and you'll feel elated.
Walk on air.
Walk on air it is. Walk on right over there to your seat. Continue the stroll with a simple little tune, and you'll feel elated. Walk on air. So, the scores at this point are Debbie and Tony with £35, but David and Lynn, you have a fine score, £155. Good. So, Debbie and Tony, you could pull back here. Let's take a look at this cartoon. It's worth £50. It's over there. Let's take a look at it. There is the cartoon, and here is the clue. Making eyes at pink elephants is a funny old game. Making eyes at pink elephants is a funny old game. Tony, Debbie, who's yelling? Who's spelling?
Am I spelling?
Yes.
And you're yelling. Up you pop. You have 15 seconds on the clock. First jumble coming up. Go.
Drunk.
Well done. We take the D and the N. We transfer them over to the board. In goes the D, in goes the N. Tony, making eyes at pink elephants is a funny old game. What do you think?
No idea, Jeff.
No idea? Are you bluffing?
No.
You're not? Okay, right. Well, you never know. You might build up a few more tenners over here. 15 seconds, go.
Wrist.
Yeah, well done. Take the W, the I, the S, the T. They're on the red squares. They're our key letters. We put the T there, the S right there, I in there, W. Tony, making eyes at pink elephants is a funny old game.
No idea, Jeff.
No? OK. But don't forget, if you're going to catch up with Linz, you've got to hold out anyway. OK, third jumble, 15 seconds, go.
Pale pose.
Oh, yes,
well done.
well played.
Well done.
Well played. It's not so easy when you're up here, is it, Debbie? When you're actually close to the word, it is not easy, I've got to tell you. So, put the Y there, the L there. Tony, making eyes at pink elephants is a funny old game. What do you think?
Nope, can't get
No?
No.
OK, over we go. Last jumble. 15 seconds on the clock. Go.
Flick.
Yes, flick, well done. We take the I, we take the K. Come on, Debbie, let's do a walk over here because we're going to do a bit of spelling. OK, in goes the I, in goes the K. In you go, 15 seconds, starting now.
Tiddlywinks.
Tiddlywinks, no need to spell it out. Well done, back you go. Making eyes at pink elephants is a funny old game, tiddlywinks. When you see pink elephants, you're tiddly. Making eyes is winking, so tiddlywinks, a funny old game. OK, so at the end of round 2, we have Debbie and Tony with £125, but because they really had a very good start, David and Linz are going through to the final with £155.
You did it. You did it.
Tony, I have to say you were very unlucky there. They had a very good start, you lost control, you still have a very fine score.
Thank you.
And you're going to take away with you £125. You had a good morning with us?
Very much indeed.
Thanks very much. We'd like to thank your partner.
Thanks.
Ladies and gentlemen, Debbie Ricks.
Thank you.
I've got to tell you, David Jensen, you've been on this show a few times and you're one of the best I've known at the anagrams. Do you think you're so good at the anagrams and so good at spelling because you write a lot of articles at home?
Well, yeah, maybe. I think you get into it. It's like doing crosswords, isn't it? I mean, the more you do, I think maybe the better you become. Sure. But my spelling is so bad, you know, I get the letters rearranged for me most of the time, so I'm kind of used to checking and double-checking.
Yeah, I've got a typewriter that keeps telling me and it just keeps buzzing away. Spelt wrong, you know, and we have to respell it. Well, we wish you all the very best of luck in part 2. We'll see if Linz can add another £200 to her score in just a mo. We'll see you in a minute. Back to Jumble. Well, it's all happening here. David Jensen has helped Linz go through to the final. And I've got to tell you, I know that David Jensen is a Crystal Palace football supporter. So, like the team, he wouldn't be used to getting through to finals. So, David, how do you feel getting into a final?
It's a little below the belt there.
No, you are. In all seriousness, you are a Crystal Palace supporter, aren't you?
That's right, yes. I'm the vice president of the club.
Yeah.
We've
That's
had a
great.
good few seasons.
And you've got a few famous fans who go to the Selhurst Park every 2 weeks, haven't you?
Well, we have Bill Wyman. He's
Yeah.
a regular. So is Ronnie Corbett.
Yeah.
Roy
Can you actually
Hutt.
see the game?
He sits on my shoulders.
Yeah.
And Zara Long, who's the new bright swimming hope for the UK. He's
Oh,
done
right.
there a lot, yeah.
That's great. OK, so we'll wish you all the very best of luck. And Linz, I hope you do very well as well. Here we go. We're going to look at this cartoon. This cartoon is worth £200. Let's take a look at it. There's the cartoon, and here is the clue we want you to solve. To get the jazz singer to cut down on her tonic sol fa is a weighty problem. To get the jazz singer to cut down on her tonic sol fa is a weighty problem. Solve that clue, Linz, and another £200 is yours. Here's how you do it. I'm going to show you 6 jumbled words. They are number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, and number 6. Each jumble unscrambles into a word. Each word relates to our cartoon. Each one you get correct will give you key letters to help you solve our cartoon caption. You have 60 seconds on the clock. Are you both ready? Okay, take your positions, please. You have 60 seconds starting now.
Acting.
Well done. Correct. Move on.
Hotel.
Correct. Move on.
Funny.
Correct. Move on.
Balance.
Correct. Move on.
Applause.
Correct. Move on. You've got a bit of time now.
Reside.
Correct. Don't worry about it. Well done. Let's go back here. You got acting, you got hotel, you got funny, you got balance, you got applause, and you got reside. You have 6 out of 6. If you'd both like to come over here, and I'm going to show you how the letters have taken their place on our jumble board. They are in the correct words, but they are jumbled. Now, you have 10 seconds to confer. After 10 seconds, I will need an answer. Okay, the final jumble clue for £200 is: to get the jazz singer to cut down on her tonic so far is a weighty problem. To get the jazz singer to cut down on her tonic so far is a weighty problem. You have 10 seconds to confer. Need an answer in 10 seconds, starting now. For £200, the final jumble clue is: to get the jazz singer to cut down on her tonic so far is a weighty problem. David Linz, what do you think?
Prunella scales.
Prunella scales it is. Well done. Both come over here. Well done. So, let me just tell you, you are going to go away with £355. Linz, have you had a good morning with us?
Yeah, it's been great.
Thanks very much for joining us on Jumble. And ladies and gentlemen, will you please say thank you to that Crystal Palace supporter himself, Mr. David Jensen. Thank you, David.
Thank you.
Hope you had a good season when they come back.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Right. We hope you have a good day at home. Thanks very much for watching Jumble. We'll see you very soon. Ta-da.